Hello newcomers, welcome to our new class in this semester with me. My name is Johannes Ranggawi Sesa Sipayung and you can call me Sir Joe or Mr. Sipayung. So I'm going to be your teacher from now on in this semester. And in this video we are going to study with the theme planets, and we will focus on passive verbs and WH question. So here we go. Alright, so right now we are going to talk about the topic, a planet, with the theme the world around us. And for the next lesson, there are actually several units, different topics, and in this video we are going to talk about planets, you guys. So, and also for the next videos, it's all going to be about the world around us. Okay, so it's going to be your knowledge to add, right? Okay, so talking about planets, I'm sure this won't be that difficult for you because you have learned this planet so many times before. And right now I'm going to show you common questions asked to everybody when they want to talk about planets. The first one, as you can see here, how many planets are there in our solar system? And this isn't a difficult question because, as I said, you have learned about this one so many times before. Maybe some of you would say 8, maybe some of you would say 9. So you answer that in your mind, because soon we'll talk about it. I'm going to show you things. And also the second question here, the biggest and the smallest planet, right? So I think you've got something in your mind right now, right? I think you know, surely you know, And the third one, what is called as dwarf planet, okay? So do you know that? Dwarf planet? You know the meaning of dwarf, right? It could be small. So is it actually the smallest planet or something? We are going to discuss about that this section. Okay, so these questions are just starter. Okay, so here I have shown you some planets, but they are scrambled, and it's time to unscramble them. I'm gonna give you some time to think of them. So I think you can just know it that easy, right? Especially, I think you know all answers, all of these words, right? I think let's just not waste much time. Okay, the first one is Mercury, right? That's it. And what about the second one? It is Venus, right? And then the third one, Earth. And then the fourth one, Mars. And then Jupiter. And then Saturn. And then Uranus. And then Neptune. And then Pluto. I think you know all these planets, right? I think you know. You don't even need to memorize them all, right? Because once again, you have learned all these so many times before. Okay, now the next one, we are going to learn their mythical names. That they are named with their specific name, unique name. They were named mythical names, like god name or goddess name. So do you know this one? So that's why we learn it right now, right? Because some of you might not know, and I'm sure most of you don't know the mythical names of these planets, right? So the first one, Mercury. The name is winged messenger of the gods, right? And then the second one, goddess of love and beauty. And then the third one, this is not actually mythical names. The name is Mother Earth. and then the fourth one is god of war, then the fifth one king of the gods for Jupiter, and then the sixth one Saturn. Its name was god of farming and agriculture and father of Jupiter. And then the next one, Uranus here, god of the sky and heavens and father of Saturn, yeah. And then Neptune here, god of the sea. And then the last one, Pluto, as the god of the underworld. Yeah, so these are the mythical names. You gotta know them because it's gonna be a common knowledge for you. You may be asked in your future as a general knowledge. Trust me, it will be useful for you. So that's why we are learning it right now. Okay. The next section we are going to talk about something else. It's going to be about grammar. It is passive verbs, and you know that wherever there is passive verbs, there is also active verbs, right? But we only focus on passive verbs today with two tenses: present simple and past simple. Okay, so here we go. So this is how we use passive verbs, guys. So we use passive verbs when we focus on a person or thing affected by an action rather than the doer, right? So we focus on the person or thing, given an action, guys, rather than the doer. We focus not to the doer, but to the person or thing given an action by the doer. So that's what we focus on about passive verbs. So that's why in passive sentences the object is always in front, right? Okay, and the next one here, guys, I'm gonna show you some example of active and passive. It's just gonna be a little bit talking about active voice or active verbs, guys, so that you can know the difference between them. So you see here, I'm gonna read it for you. The International Astronomical Union downgraded the status of Pluto as a dwarf planet. Now it is answered already, because can you remember the question? The question that I asked earlier, about dwarf planet. So the planet is called as actually Pluto, right? So Pluto is actually dwarf planet, okay, by IAU, or the International Astronomical Union. And also the second one, as you can see here, the status of Pluto was downgraded as a dwarf planet. Okay, so you see, the second one here is passive, and the first one here, active, right? I think you can see it, right? So here, as you can see here, why is it passive? Because the object is in front, in front of the sentence. As you can see here, the object is actually the status of Pluto, and then given an action which is downgraded, guys, So the status here of Pluto, or the object, given an action which is downgraded, and surely by the doer, right? And surely who is the doer here? I think you know. The doer is IAU, or the International Astronomical Union, right? That's about it. Okay, for the next one, I'm gonna need you to take a look at these sentences that I'm about to show you. As you can see here, there are four. Four. So you can read it yourself, guys. So I'm gonna need you to decide how are they present and how are they past. Okay. So what do you think about that one? And how do we know that they are passive verbs, guys? What makes them so different that one of these are present and one of these is past. What do you think about that one, guys? So here I'm going to show you directly. Yeah. So this one, the first sentence here is actually present simple. Yeah, the passive form, because if it is present we have to use to be, right? To be is, am, and are, and after that one we use past participle. And the second one here, as you can see, guys, were given. This is a past. Yeah, this is a past tense and passive form. Yeah, so we don't use is, am, are anymore, but we use was, were, and then past participle. And then the third one here, guys, as you can see here, so this is a question for you: is this present or past? Yeah, because it is was, yeah, and then associated, right? Was, so it is past, guys. Yeah, simple past in form of passive verbs, right? Yeah. And also associated here is actually a past participle. And then the last one here, Pluto is no longer classified as a planet. So you keep that in mind, okay, guys? Pluto is no longer classified as a planet, no more, I guess. Yeah. So this is a present, I guess. Yeah. Present simple passive, I guess. Yeah. You need to know that, because here it is actually is, not was, not were, but is. Pluto is no longer classified as a planet, so it is present simple passive. Okay, here this is actually started right now. This moment I'm going to show you how to form it, guys. Yeah, I'm going to show you the basic form of simple present passive and simple past passive. As you can see here, we have to use to be, guys. Yeah, we have to use to be to form passive verbs, where was, is, am, okay, and then we have to use past participle, or what you can say as verb 3, yeah, like named, given, associated, and classified. And the next one, we are going to decide what kind of tense are they. So here are the answer. Okay, so yeah, the answers of all these basic form. Yeah, because there is are here, so it is a present simple, and then were here it is past, and then was here it is past, and also is and am here is present. Okay, I think that won't be that difficult to be remembered, so that's why I think you should remember that from now on, guys. Yeah, so these are the basic forms, yeah, to write passive verbs in sentences, guys. Yeah, so the first thing that you have to think, yeah, is actually to think of to be, is, am, are, or was, were, and then you have to follow with past participle like named, given, associated, and classified, or verb 3 that you know. Okay, just remember, if is, am, are, it is present simple passive, was, were, it is past simple passive. And then the next one here, I'm showing you some active sentences about planets, guys. Yeah, now let's think of it, guys. Now we are going to change it to passive verbs or passive voice. As you can see here, the first one, IAU downgraded Pluto as dwarf planet. Actually, we talked about it earlier. Yeah, so this is the passive, guys. Yeah, remember, passive verbs focus on object or people or thing, yeah, that receive what? Receive action. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Once again, if we have to use passive verbs, it means that we focus on object that receives an action by the doer. We focus on object that receives an action by the doer. We don't focus on the doer here. If we have to focus on the doer, it means it is active verbs or active voice, guys. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see here, the passive one, Pluto was downgraded as a dwarf planet. So Pluto here is given an action which is downgraded, guys. Something like that. So that's why here in bracket I wrote by IAU as the subject, because we don't focus on subject here, we focus on object given an action. The second one here, Pluto isn't classified as planet. Okay, the subject is by scientist, right? Once again, Pluto is an object given an action which is classified. Then the third one, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus and Mercury were given their names thousands of years ago. Okay, so the object is Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus and Mercury. Okay, they are given an action which is given. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah. And then the last one, red color of Mars was associated with blood in battles by Romans. Okay, guys. So here we focus on red color of Mars. Yeah, as the object, not the doer, not the subject. We focus on the object, which is red color of Mars, and it is given an action which is associated, something like that, guys. Yeah. And then talking about that one, there is an extra lesson here about passive voice or passive verbs. Yeah, it is not present simple passive nor past simple passive, but it is actually present perfect passive and past perfect passive, guys. Yeah, this is just an extra. So this is how we form it. Yeah, remember, the active structure of present perfect is actually subject plus have or has plus past participle. That's an active, guys. Yeah, and also the past perfect. How do you form it? Active voice of it or active verbs. Yeah, subject plus had plus past participle, right? But this is going to be different because this is the passive one. So this is how you form it, guys. Remember, passive voice or passive verbs are always added past participle. Always, guys. That's why here there is past participle. For example, it has been classified. And then the next part of it, had been plus past participle. For example, like this one, it had been classified, guys. Yeah, you see, classified here, it is actually past participle or verb 3. And then yeah, like I said, guys, yeah, you need to keep this in mind. Yeah, talking about passive voice, yeah, there is always past participle to be added. Yeah, without past participle, it is not passive verb, trust me. Right, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you can get so many things from the video, and hopefully you can understand it easily and can make use of it in your future and your education to get good marks. And thank you for being there, watching, and may fortune smile on you, and good luck, and see you in the next video. Ciao.